So, May begins with some off-dohyo sparring between tabloids eager for the scoop on Hakuho's new stable location. Shukan Bunshun, destroyer of Asanoyama this time last year, insisted, 3 months ago, that Coach Magaki had, for his new stable, agreed to purchase the land and building formerly used by historic Asakusa restaurant Hisagoan. Their source, they claimed, was none other than Hisagoan's landlady, who was quoted as saying, "The deal has been fixed for some time, but I thought it better to keep things under wraps until now." When Coach Magaki came to look around, his wife was also very impressed. Such confident words caused other major news outlets to jump on board the story, until even non-sumo fans were convinced of and intrigued by the prospect of a Hakuho Asakusa union. But, says rival tabloid Nikkan Gendai this week, all of this is wrong, and sources close to Hakuho's current Miyagi-no stable can confirm. "I think someone at the restaurant got a bit too ecstatic," said one. Yes, Coach Magaki looked around Hisagoan, but just to see what kind of property was out there. He never entered into specific negotiations. In fact, the stable is rather bemused as to where all this talk has come from. With a final Hakuho-style face slap of the Bunshun, does the Gendai claim Coach Magaki's focus remains on Nihonbashi, but not the very costly centre of town, rather the outskirts such as Hamacho or Ningyocho, the former, of course, playing host to Waka Takakage. Let's see if Bunshun has a comeback for that. One move that's definitely happened, says Nikkan Sports, is Abi's. Back into his family home for the first time since his effective stable arrest in July 2020. It's unclear whether he's yet found that dream larger property he spoke of, or whether he's simply back in his old abode. "The more things I have to protect, the more positive my attitude has to be," Abi said. His March performance may well have got him down, of course. In actual tournament news, there's frustration for fans of heaviest top divisioner Ichinojo. He's been ruled out of May 2022 after reinfection with coronavirus, perhaps caught from a lower division stablemate who tested positive first. Reading between lines, it seems Sumo's latest guidance is for those who test positive to isolate for 7 days instead of the previous 14. However, as that takes Ichinojo into May's opening day, and he'd be disadvantaged by joining late, he will sit the entire meet out and protect his rank. For me, with over 2 years to plan for pandemic scenarios, and with nearly all wrestlers triple jabbed, Sumo has to be more flexible. If Ichi tests negative by Sunday, why should he not compete? Takayasu, meanwhile, has been working like an ox in a bid to quickly rid his system of painful March memories. "I did 50 bouts today," he said of his practice on May the 1st, "and I fully reflected on and analysed the bouts which went wrong in March. In the tournament's final third, I was clearly rushing my attacks. If I'd just shown the patience that was my hallmark in the first 2/3. I've digested things quickly, and it's been a good experience. Yes, I'm aiming to be in the title mix till the end of this tournament too. My training feels good, and overall, I'd say I'm stronger even than I was at Ozeki." And his condition is vouched for by ex-mentor Nishonoseki, who said on March Day 14, "A year ago, when we trained, I thought he was finished. But this March tournament, I've seen the old him again. His shoulders and back are really pumped, his hips look thicker and more solid, and his hamstrings are back to where they were. And bitter experience has added to his strength. What you're seeing now is a fusion of his core qualities with that persevering factor which he's learned over the years. His approach His technique and his power have combined to create this new Takayasu, who, I think, we agree, will be complete if he finally wins a big title-defining bout. However, Takayasu shouldn't assume 50 bouts is special if Hoshoryu's claims this week are true. "I've been doing up to 70 bouts a day with Meisei, Akua and other colleagues," said the komusubi. "I'm going for a winning score in May, of course, and once that's secured, the next goals will come into view." Having often sparred with Wakataka Kage, whose arm block he praises as sumo's finest, Hoshoryu was all too happy to encourage him in March. "We were in the same changing room," he recalls, "and I told him, 'Go for the title and send your opponents flying.' But when he actually won the trophy, I was like, wait, I can beat him. I've beaten him by one-armed shoulder throw, and yet he's got to the cup before me." We'll have thrills and spills from those two yet.